We have a lot to discuss here as far as Monday Night Raw is concerned, because coming out of last week, the main talking point was the Vision turning on Seth Rollins. We did not expect it. It was something that just happened out of the ordinary. It left us with a lot of questions and a lot of answers that we kind of needed to hear. And tonight they were going to address as far as the future of Seth Rollins and his whereabouts as far as what this means for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's essentially what happened here. We had Adam Pearce come out here and essentially tell us that Seth Rollins is relinquishing the World Heavyweight Championship, and that tonight we were going to have a battle royal to the opponent that CM Punk would have at Saturday night's main event, because if you remember, CM Punk won a match last week to become the *1 contender for Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship. We had the explanation as well from Paul Heyman as far as why he turned on Seth Rollins, essentially claiming that Seth Rollins wasn't going to lead this version of the Vision to the future, to the WrestleMania main event. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, he wasn't going to wait for Seth Rollins, somebody who has a battered and injured shoulder, somebody who can't carry this company on his shoulder, etc., etc., essentially dumping out yesterday's news. Now, as far as Adam Pearce goes, he did claim that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed would not be in this battle royal. And as far as like logically, I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, at the same token, it's like, you know, why not put Braun Breaker in there and claim him to be the World Heavyweight Champion? Why not just go balls to the wall with Braun Breaker as the World Heavyweight Champion? And what we got here tonight was probably the most boring scenario that you could have imagined, because we had a battle royal here to main event the show at the end of the show, and we had none other than Yeet Man Jey Uso win the battle royal. So now heading into Saturday night's main event, it's Jey Uso against CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I don't really know if this is just to throw us off as far as giving us like the most boring option, whether it's Jey Uso, but you literally had somebody like an LA Knight there that could have won this battle royal and have him face Punk at Saturday night's main event, or you could add somebody like AJ Styles or whoever the case would have been. But Jey Uso against CM Punk, I don't know about you, but me personally, I'm just kind of tired of seeing the same old with Jey Uso. It feels like this company just reverts back to something that's safe, and that's Jey Uso. For me, it's like, realistically, I would have this match, I would have Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed go into this match and forcefully take out CM Punk and Jey Uso, causing there to be no winner for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then eventually maybe this becomes a triple threat match, or this becomes some sort of tournament of some sorts or something along those lines, because CM Punk, if he were to win the World Heavyweight Championship here over Jey Uso, it will literally just feel anticlimactic. Like, we waited this long for CM Punk to become champion, and it's just because he beat Jey Uso at a random Saturday night's main event. And Jey Uso, if he were to win the World Heavyweight Championship once again, it's like, bro, what are we doing here? We're just repeating the same shit over and over again. So at the very least, I would have, if the end game isn't to have Braun Breaker as the World Heavyweight Champion, then I don't really know what we're doing here. We also had Becky Lynch and Paul Heyman in the background. This was a great segment where essentially Becky Lynch called Paul Heyman a penguin-faced douchebag, or whatever she said, flat out to Paul Heyman. She said that Seth Rollins knew that this day was going to happen, that Paul Heyman was going to turn on him, and frankly, he's surprised that it didn't happen way sooner than it did. He said that when he comes back, he's going to make a living hell for both Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. So I would suspect that coming back for Seth Rollins, he may just be some sort of a tweener at the very least, because full-on babyface, it doesn't really seem to apply here, because the character of Seth Rollins still has done a lot of fucked up shit to a lot of people. But I'm also very interested to see what they do coming out for Becky Lynch, because how does this affect her as far as, you know, what she's doing on television? She was in a match here with Maxine Dupree, which was honestly kind of lackluster here. I did expect AJ Lee to return here, but I guess not. Who knows where the hell AJ Lee is? Speaking of AJ Lee, we had new tag team champions AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defeat the Judgment Day. This was a great match. The crowd really popped big for this. My only sort of, I guess, hope for this is that I hope that going forward in the future, they book these tag team titles with some sort of decency, because I think I said this when the Judgment Day won the titles back in whenever it was. You know, the problem is that these titles, they aren't booked frequently, number one, but they aren't booked well. So you have to really just yeah, we have a title change here, but you have to really start to actually book them correctly. We also had the IC title on the line. Dominic Mysterio retained against Rusev. Dominic Mysterio, whenever they decide to turn him babyface, that dude is going to be massively over, because this guy is getting like monster babyface reactions, and he's not even a babyface. He's like in the middle, a tweener. Finally, we'll end with this. We had Stephanie Vaquera and Nikki Bella sort of standing tall here against Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez. You know, I don't really know who's excited for this. I don't really know who's excited for Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquera. This kind of just screams to me like a heel turn for Nikki Bella, if there was one. Like I said, I'm not really interested in this. I feel like if you're going to give Stephanie Vaquera some sort of interesting rivalry, it's definitely not with Nikki Bella. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of tonight's episode of Raw. And like I said again, if the endgame isn't Braun Breaker as the World Heavyweight Champion, then I don't know in actuality what we're doing here. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of tonight's episode of Raw. And until next time, I will see all of you on the next one.